We are live. I'm trying to see if I can survive with these doors open. It's 77 degrees. I'm not so sure. Okay, we need this pop out. I fell asleep in the pool again today for about 45 minutes. Not good. Can't be doing that. The bats are out. Okay, I think we're all set up. Yep, I think we're good. Anyway, and I'll put the link in chats, on Wednesday, 10 a.m., the subcommittee hearing. Right there. So I'm going to stream it. But if people want to see that, I'll put the links in the chats to watch that. It is on YouTube. Ugh. I really hate when it does that. Okay, we're missing Trovo. What's up, Chantal? Alright, let me get this back. Anyway, that's Wednesday. I put the link in all the chats for the hearing on UAPs. If anybody's interested, you have now the links. Now, weather-wise, it's still getting dark, so the camera looks a little crazy right now. But I've actually never seen that kind of disturbance on my camera before. That is weird. I've never seen that on my camera before. So I'm gonna go outside. I'm gonna put this camera on full screen. It's like moving. It's like taking over the majority of the screen. It's got to be a pixelation thing with the lighting. So let me go outside. Now I can see the screen from outside. Tycho, stay inside. Should be gone now. I know what I did wrong. I had the ISO too high. Now, once it gets darker, I'll go back outside to focus it. But right now, it's just too bright. I gotta wait like 10 minutes, 10, 15 minutes till more stars appear on the screen, then I can refocus. What the hell is that? Those are lightning bugs, okay. Those are bats. The bats are out now. Let me mute Skype. Okay, I wanted to do something. Oh yeah, pop out for Trova. All right, see you in a few. I'm still setting up. Okay, this has to... It's not easy to put 5 pop-outs on a screen. Even though it's a big monitor, but still. I gave him food, but you can give him more if you want.
What did you give him?
Uh-oh, what is this?
Huh?
I gave him 3 hot dogs, chopped up.
Well, I don't know why he's still hungry.
Uh-oh, Renee's messaging me. Oh, let me send her the link. What, Mom?
Maybe he needs water.
I gave him water. Maybe he needs more.
If you gave him food, how come he has water there? I don't know.
Anyway, comes the plane.
I love when the train comes.
The plane too. I'm looking at it flying over that. Should hear it soon.
Yeah, he's coming to here?
It's not a big one.
Oh.
There it is.
I could hear it. It's a big one.
No, that's a civilian. That's not a National Guard. It's just a civilian.
But it sounds heavy duty.
I know, but it's because it's a bigger civilian. But it's not the military.
No, sometimes they come from Stewart Airport.
I know. That's what I'm saying. I know it's not. Anyway, so as I was saying a few minutes earlier, Wednesday morning, you can go to GOP Oversight on YouTube, the YouTube channel, GOP Oversight. And scheduled is the subcommittee hearing on unidentified and anomalous phenomena, implications on national security, public safety, and government transparency. I will be streaming it. But that if you want to watch it on your own and something you're interested in, well, there's where it's going to be. And the link should be in the chat rooms. So that is Wednesday, 10 a.m. Eastern. For those interested. There's traffic going on. I wait.
Come on, Taco. Eat.
That's why. It's hard to talk over. But it should be interesting to hear what they have to say. I'm not expecting nothing as far as images, video, or documents, because the process hasn't even started yet to try to declassify stuff for future hearings. Yes, future hearings. So legislation has not even really started with that. So like I said, I'm not expecting much. I am curious to see what Grush has to say in a public forum under oath at a hearing. Not on News Nation, on a television program. So I want to see if he sticks with pretty much what he said when he came out with it, or is he going to? That's a lightning bug. Change it up a little bit. The phrasing, because he's under oath. They all are. So I'm going to be curious on that. And I'm going to be curious on the questions. Now, I like Tim Burchett's whole perspective on this and challenging it. Now, this is bipartisan. And I have a feeling this is going to be kind of interesting because it's going to be questions coming from a bipartisan committee from whatever angle they're taking it from. I'm sure there's going to be multiple angles here. But they're both going to be ready to go after the people that are participating. Ryan Graves, David Grush, and David Fravor. I'm just curious to see the questioning, especially to Grush, because somebody's got to ask the tough questions. The people that you say told you about crash. Oh, this is why I don't like leaving the doors open. Crashed retrieval vehicles, whether they're intact or wreckage, are they willing to come forward in the future in a hearing of some kind? Because it could be a classified hearing, it could be a public hearing. That's one of the questions I want to know. That they ask and answer. Because it's one thing to say, well, someone told me that works here and seen this. Well, if they told you, why don't they tell us? I'm sure they want to stay anonymous, maybe, probably, and maybe they're still working at a high classification level. They're still working within government, so that's dicey. Because they can kiss their jobs goodbye, even though they say the Whistleblower Act protects them. Bullshit. Once their name goes public, that's it. Done. Attacked. You get ready. So everybody's gonna know who you are. You might get a little break since it's bipartisan, and you might have both media outlets' sides kind of going in one direction, sort of, on it. But I think it's going to be interesting. So you know what? Somebody said this in the chat room last night during a show. It's not for the 1% of people that are familiar with stuff that goes on in this field. The study, the research, speculation, claims, witness testimonies, etc. A lot of people that are into it know what's going on pretty much. And I hear people tell me or say in chat, it's the same thing over and over again. Yeah, for you it is. But for a person that's out there in the public, do you really think they're paying attention to this? And know the background of all the different accounts and stories and theories when you've been listening and watching this stuff for decades or even years? This is not for that audience. This is for the rest of the people. I mean, I know I hate polls. I don't even want to use the word polls. I know they've done surveys estimating how many people believe in the existence of extraterrestrial life. That's one thing. That's a very broad question. It doesn't mean that they're coming here. It just means, do you believe there's life out there somewhere? I would say yes, because the odds with the numbers is just insane. You can't even put it in your mind how much is out there. The number is like with so many zeros, it just keeps going. So yeah, I think a lot of people don't think we're the center of the universe and we're the only ones. I think the majority of the people would say there's the possibility of extraterrestrial life. It's either that or it's 50-50. That's one thing. But ask the same question. Do you believe that we've been visited or are being visited currently by either extraterrestrials, interdimensionals, time travelers, etc.? That's the question I want to see the answer to. I'm not saying to on the hearing, but this is for the general public. So the general public always focuses on what they find is relevant on a daily basis to them. They're keeping an eye on certain things, whether it's in the media, social platforms, Twitter, all that, soon to be X. So people tune into what they specifically tune into, what they want to listen to or watch. This is low on the radar. This is not on that radar. It might be, oh, that's interesting, but it's not. They're not taking it like really seriously. It could be more humorous and funny than serious. Because, and I cannot blame the public, because I'm one of them. It is very frustrating to see these hearings with very small numbers of congressional representation, number one. That doesn't even look like they're taking it serious. Or they're even sending their aides to represent them, which is even worse. And it's held in like the side room at the House. It's not even the main chambers. It's like in a little room. The last one, I was like, what the hell is this? What is the occupancy of seating in that little room? 30? So it's eventually going to get there, but it's not there yet. But I have to commend the people that are involved in Congress, the men and women that are trying to raise awareness on this issue. And I'm not saying they're extraterrestrial. I'm not saying they're interdimensional. It's still an unknown. And I think it's important that we find out what is responsible for it. Who is responsible for it? It's national security. No matter what, it's national security. And it could be some tech that we have, even though that would be incredible if that was to be uncovered, that we did investigations on agencies that are working in ultra secret environments, possibly even, I'm just saying, speculating, to some serious black projects with money that who knows where that came from. And they're investigating their own government. Because it could be simply our technology or that of another country. And that's why they're being careful. But I want to see where this hearing goes on Wednesday. Because Tim Burchett, or Burchett, however you want to pronounce it, I'm a New Yorker, so forgive me. He did and it was on Friday, June 30th. He did a zoom in at Roswell. He actually spoke to the crowd at Roswell. So kudos to him. That means he's really into this. That's what that tells me. This guy's for real. Because some people do things for their own political shiny object in the background kind of a deal. They do it more for themselves than for the real cause. It's more to make themselves look good in front of specifically the constituents that got the person elected. Because it's always driven to your constituents. But I give him a lot of credit for really taking this by the horns and going with it. And Representative Luna from Florida, Republican. And again, Burchett, Republican. So that's good. And Gillibrand was involved in the beginning with Marco Rubio. There were some others as well. But I want to see more representation and seriousness coming from Congress. I want more people to speak up about it. You don't hear many. But they are talking behind the scenes. And they're not happy. Bipartisan anger. They are united on this. They are fed up. And I'll tell you why. If you're in Congress, you think you should have access to any questions that you raise to your government. I have a question about this. I need information on this. But they're dealing with the big fat red line. And that red line is, well, do you have the classification to look at what you're asking for? And I bet you a lot of them do not. Not at that high. If Grush is to be believed, and he's saying it's such a high classification that members of Congress can't even see it. He said that. Not exactly like that, but I'm paraphrasing. So what about the Gang of Eight? Where are they? Do we have to get them involved here? So right there it tells you they don't want to give shit to Congress. And we live in the age of leaks. Do you blame them? So it doesn't make sense for them to hand over these documents or information to them. That's what they're thinking. They can't see this. But on the other hand, Congress, like I said, are typical politicians. When they ask for something, they want it. And now you've got a unified bipartisan group, both in the House and in the Senate, saying, listen, we're tired of this shit. So now what I'm thinking is, forget about the hearing. It's going to be interesting to see what they say and all that. I'm thinking, how far is Congress willing to go through legislation to start to try to declassify some classified information? And it's bipartisan, but it still has to be signed off by the executive branch. If you could even find the line on this to sign. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that. It's just a joke. But it will be interesting to see what they're willing to do, how far they're willing to go, because once they push that hard, they cross that red line. Now it's on. That's what I'm trying to see, what comes forward here. How far are they willing to go to push? Because they tried their little whistleblower act, the revised version. Not saying that there's not more whistleblowers in the hangars over on the side here. They're waiting in the wings. I'm not saying that. But they really want to try to get answers any way they can. Are they getting it? I don't know. But that's what makes it interesting. Because if they feel that they're still frustrated and they're not getting the information they thought they were going to get by revising the Whistleblower Act, then what's their next move? What do they do next? Are they going to cross that line and push? Someone in Congress does have the classification, but they can't represent everyone in Congress. So think of this dilemma. if I'm one of the few people in Congress that have this ultra high clearance, that Grush said you gotta have like that top to see the stuff I see. I want to hear that on Wednesday. I want to hear him say that again. On the record, on the oath. But okay, so I'm one of those people that got to see it. I'm like, holy fuck. But since it's classified, and it's for my eyes only, and maybe a few other congressional men and women, I can't go tell the others. So how are they gonna support something that I read, take my word for it, without them seeing what I know? They're not gonna go for that. They're gonna be like, screw that. I wanna know too. This is BS. So I'm curious, just like I said, to see how this goes forward. And more hearings. But eventually, getting back to the point that I started this whole thing with, the public is like, it's been there, done that, seen this, seen nothing actually. I'm not impressed. This is a waste of my time. Because we're never going to see what they have. Documents, photos, videos. We're never going to see it. They're never going to show us. And for people that are interested in the topic, trust me, that is big time frustration. For newbies that are seeing this for the first time, it might be interesting. But know that this game has been going on for a long, long time. And that's why, I said it earlier, this is not for the people that have followed this topic for years or whatever it is. It's for the people that have no background, no prior knowledge or research or nothing. They're just coming in here like for the first time with curiosity. See what this is all about. Those are the people that you're talking to. And what do you think is the most important thing for why they need to do that? It's money. Money for what? For funding. They need the public support. It's taxpayer money. When the budget goes up for fiscal 2024 and certain branches are demanding extra money to fund research, development, whatever, regarding that. Because couldn't take money for that. And there's always the money. The money's always involved. Always. I actually have the document. It's freaking long. It's publicly available on some gov site. I think this is it. Yeah, it is it. It's how many pages? 64 pages. So we're not going there too far. But this is it. Right here. The amendment. To authorize appropriations. What is appropriations? Money. Money. Like I was just saying. Money. Appropriations for fiscal year. Fiscal's money. For military activities of the Department of Defense, for military construction, and for the defense activities of the Department of Energy to prescribe military personnel strengths for such fiscal year, blah, 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 blah. Now, here's what Schumer, look at the names on this list. Two Democrats, 2 Republicans. Rounds and Rubio are Republicans, and Gillibrand and, of course, Schumer, Democrat. So it's a bipartisan amendment, which means they got support from both parties. With those names associated, Rubio, Schumer, they're working together on the bill When do you ever see that? Never do you see a bill with Schumer's name and Rubio's name on it at the same time. That's an alarm bell flag right there. So that's how serious they're taking it. No, don't bother me. This is definitely seriously bipartisan. So it has the support.
For Billy.
Tycho, you want to go outside? I'm not going to start with this dog.
For Billy.
Mom is sending me messages on Alexa. Is that bizarre? About the dog. Anyway, so like I said, I can put this link. Oh no, I downloaded it. All federal government records concerning unidentified anomalous phenomenon. They didn't say they want it all. Not certain aspects of it. They say the word all. Remember, when this is written up, it's written up carefully. You literally have to take word to word, like seriously, what they're talking about. Should be preserved and centralized for historical and federal government purposes. They should carry presumption of immediate disclosure, and all records should be eventually, this is never going to happen, should be eventually disclosed to enable the public to become fully informed about the history of the federal government's knowledge and involvement surrounding unidentified anonymous phenomena. Now, let me see if anybody understands why they just did that. There is a definite reason why that's in there. And it's don't overthink it. It's simple explanation. If disclosure is eventually going to happen, as slow as it may be, you see what that says? To enable the public to become fully informed about the history, not 2017, the history of the federal government's knowledge and involvement surrounding unidentified anomalous phenomena. You know why? Because this is how they're going to do it. We cannot be held responsible for the actions of those in the past administrations or past government agencies, the personnel involved. They're dead. Most of them are gone. But what we can do is be as transparent to the American public as possible under national security. But we will release as much information as we can regarding the history, how long this has been going on. That's their way to cover their ass. Because people are going to say, oh, you lied to us forever. So this kind of sets that thing up, and people are going to be pissed. But they're telling you already. Their history. They're going to go into the past, and I guarantee they're going to say what I just said. We cannot be held responsible for the actions of those in the past who kept us from the American public, past administrations, whatever. But from this point moving forward, we are going to be transparent with the American people regarding unidentified anomalous phenomena. That's where I see that going. Just from that sentence. It's just... Okay. Legislation is necessary. That's why I said earlier they're going to have to do legislation. That's why not much is going to come from this hearing. We're far from that. Legislation is necessary to create a forcible, independent, and accountable process for the public disclosure of such records. Good luck. Another one, legislation, with the people coming forward, is necessary because credible evidence and testimony indicates the federal government unidentified anomalous phenomena records exists that have not been declassified or subject to mandatory declassification review. So they haven't even seen these documents. That's what they're claiming. We in Congress don't even know this exists. We haven't even seen it. It hasn't even gone through some kind of a process to see what could be declassified or stay classified. Because we don't even know what the hell they are. We need to be... So what the fuck is going on here? There's a shadow government going on behind the regular government. Because how do they not know? That's scary in itself to think about. If you want to talk, and I know I'm on YouTube, but I'm just saying, this is speculation. But how do they not know? So that means shit is definitely being hidden from even Congress. Programs, how's the money? How's this? I would be freaking out. And that's why they said there could be criminal charges involved with this. You might hear that in the hearing. Depending on the rhetoric. But read that. This is 64 pages. I'm not going through it all. Legislation, that's what they're going to do, I'm telling you, is necessary because credible evidence and testimony. Credible evidence. What credible evidence? We fucking haven't seen it. They haven't seen it. Remember, this is Schumer, Rubio, Rounds, and Gillibrand. Their names are on this document. Again, legislation is necessary because credible evidence and testimony, this whistleblower must have left an impact, indicates that federal government unidentified anomalous phenomena records exist. Records exist that have not been declassified or subject to mandatory declassification review as set forth in executive order blah 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 blah, relating to classified national security information due in part to exemptions under the Atomic Energy Act of 1954, as well as an overbroad interpretation of transclassified foreign nuclear information. What the hell does that mean? Which is also exempt from mandatory declassification, thereby preventing public disclosure under existing provisions of law. Existing foreign nuclear? So, what? They're trying to throw that in as a clause that's falling under that? Because why use that specifically? That means they try to get the information, but they're trying to say it's falling under some other thing that they're putting in there. So this is what was released. I don't know if it was last week or the week before. This is real, folks. This isn't science fiction. This is real. I'm not saying it's extraterrestrial, interdimensional, time travelers. All I'm saying is there is a real threat. But at the same time, if you want to flip that coin, a lot of people could say, this is just, and I said it earlier, this is just to get more money, to fund more stuff. But again, this is bipartisan. It has the support of both parties. So, from what I've heard behind the scenes, people that meet with Congress people, they're not happy because they're frustrated. They can't get the information that they seek. So this is the other way to go around it. And like I said, this is only page 1. There are 60-something pages on this. 64. So I am not going through this whole thing. But it's available online. You can find it. This is a downloadable PDF, so I can't even give you a link. But this is really interesting. And we'll see what happens with the hearing on Wednesday. I will stream it Wednesday morning. And we'll take it from there at that point. Wow. Bill's got to go outside and play with his camera. Like now. Now the camera's out in the lawn. I had to move because the Perseus meteor shower, the peak is in 3 weeks. And we've seen a couple of last night. It started already.
Bill,
What is it, Mom? What is it?
nothing.
Okay. I'm playing with the camera.
Oh,
What happened? Okay.
yeah. I just said you're gonna take a shower.
No. I had to play with the camera.
What is that?
Oh, the light is coming from. I gotta go out with the glasses.
Are you okay?
I gotta focus this better.
Oh my God, my whole back is killing me.
I gotta cover that lamp. The lamp is the solar lamp.
I know you're gonna ruin my life when you're
Oh.
out of trouble with me.
Here we go.
I pay a lot for that.
Here we go.
It's true. I don't care, but
Yeah.
don't cover my lamp. You don't get those lamps no more. They don't have them. That's collectible, like.
Real freaking pain. It's the best I can do.
I gotta protect what's mine.
And it's still showing up on the camera. Ma,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna close this door for a minute because I gotta see the camera.
I'm gonna eat this. Come on, Tycho. Come on, Tycho.
That should look better. Yeah, that looks better. I think I'm gonna have to put the air on. It's just so loud. But I'm not gonna get bugs in here. No way. I gotta close 3 doors just to put the air on. Okay. Anyway. So finally, after 3 attempts, and When it came today, it made me realize, wait a minute. The first one that I got at Walmart was a used TV. Because it was missing the protective screen on the TV. No wonder it was freaking broken. They gave me a return TV and left it in the box. Never checked it and resold it. That's one. The TV was supposed to come by delivery last Friday by a freight company. Freight company sends me an email Thursday. We cannot make the delivery. The TV is damaged. That was two. Twice. No TV. So now I'm saying, okay, this is getting really out of control. So then they sent me a replacement for the delivery. And it came today. And this one had the protective screen on it. It was a real new TV. So I waited a week after 3 attempts to get a TV for this living room. Not that I watch TV, but it's the point. A week. Because it was broke twice. What's up, Dwayne? Now it's a monster. And I think that has a lot to do with it in shipping. The thing is a monster. I had a hard time putting it where it is. It's big. Do not be fooled. It's fucking big. It's just this is a very big living room. It's just that I have too much shit in it. Like there's a bar right here. This used to be a bar. But it's now where I work. But at one point, it was a bar. And in front over there is like the living room. So this was a really big room. If it wasn't for this bar, this would be a nice sized living room. It's like 30 by 30 feet. It's nice size. It's just cluttered. Messy. But at least everything worked out. So the Perseids meteor shower has officially started. It started actually last week. Not saying we're going to see much at all. 'Cause the peak is until August, I think the night of the 12th or the 13th. It's one of those. So we got a long way to peak. But there is heat lightning going on because there is thunderstorms scattered, especially to my north and east and to my west. I don't know if they're going to hold together, but that's a concern. Yes, Ma. What?
I'm not being like this.
Okay, I'm live right now. Oh God, please don't say a word.
Yeah, this is a thing. No.
All right. Oh my God. I don't want to know about anything you're saying.
What?
Not right now. I don't want to talk about that right now. I'm live right now. I'm live right now. I'm live right now. Okay. It's a 75-inch, Dwayne. It's a 75. It's pretty big. The camera doesn't do it justice. People that have 75-inch or bigger TVs like that, they know it's a big TV. So this is what I'm worried about tonight. I had a TV that was 12 years old. It was a 60-inch. When it comes to TVs, I'm not buying one just to get like the latest fucking size, like people do with phones. I'll wait. My TV died. I had to get a new one, and I got this one on clearance because it's a 2021 fucking model. So I said I might as well. So this is what's going on. There are a lot of storms to my west. Forget about these, but these could be dropping down a little bit. This is the line that I'm worried about. They should dissipate. They should fade as the night goes on. But I'm right here. That shit ain't far. This is an hour loop. They're holding together so far. So I have to keep an eye on the radar because we might get some storms coming in a little bit. In about, it's not moving that fast, maybe 2 hours, maybe sooner. So there's this beautiful clear sky. Now it's a line, it'll move through and it'll be done. The point is, there is a line to my west and it's heading east. The question is it gonna hold together? But it's coming. I don't think they're gonna make it to Connecticut. If I'm thinking these are gonna dissipate by the time they get to me, you are definitely in the clear because you're east of me. So let's see what happens in my location. If these storms hold their shit together by the time it gets to me, then I will say Connecticut, you need to watch. But this is something I cannot predict. What I can say is daylight heating is what fuels these storms. And at night, they tend to lose their energy and kind of dissipate. That's why they should weaken. They should weaken. But what's happening is too now is that high bubble that's been sitting in the southwest, giving them the heat, is now starting to shift to the east. We're going to have that heat wave. So this line is kind of a weird one because it's associated with heat behind cooler air. It was 62 degrees here last night. It was beautiful. But now that heat, it's not going to last for long. But that heat is coming our way. It's going to be in the 90s. Not what's going on down south. But we're going to get a little heat wave in the next few days. Mid-90s, I think. I'm going to check. So there could be a little fuel for these storms to stay active. That's why I'm saying that. Temperatures. Okay, it's 77 right now. So tomorrow, humid with some sun, a heavy thunderstorm in the afternoon. Thunderstorms can bring flash flooding and isolated damaging wind gusts. Wednesday, here comes the heat. 91, then it's 90, 93. Saturday is when the shift happens. It's going to be 85, showers and thunderstorms, but then Sunday, 77. So that's when the air mass changes. So it's going to be that nasty, hot, humid BS for a few days. It'll feel like 100 out. Because 93, ask the people in Florida what they deal with when the dew point is like near 80. The temperature might be 93, but it feels like 106 because of that humidity. That's why it's important, in a way. You had dry heat is a whole different ballgame. Yeah, it's hot, but there's very low humidity. If there was humidity associated with that heat at 110, oh my God, it would be dangerous. Like, bad if there was humidity involved. Be like 125. Real feel. So that's a good thing, fortunately. Still, that's tough. I was in Phoenix end of June, beginning of July. Well, near Phoenix. I was in Arizona and New Mexico. It was like 106 when I was there. I think one day hit 110. I was there toward the beginning of their heat wave. And it is hot. But it's not humid. It's just that heat. New Mexico Roswell was less. It got close to 100 and 90s. Roswell wasn't as warm as Arizona, I can tell you that. So they've endured this heat for quite some time, so they need a break. Florida, all the southern, central west states, they need a break from this heat. And we need a break from these storms. When I went, like I said the other day, when I went to the powwow on Saturday, I tried to take a shortcut home, the local road instead of the highway. It was closed because that road was washed away. And not only was it bad here, have you seen what's going on in Nova Scotia? They've gotten 3 months of rain all at once. Nova Scotia is going through some serious weather. A lot of rain. I don't know if that made the news at all, but oh my God. Oh my God. I don't even know if... Oh, we are 18 plus. So, Canadian police find remains after severe flooding in Nova Scotia. Horrible. 4 people, including 2 children, reported missing on Saturday when 2 vehicles that they were traveling in were swamped. Since Friday, they got 10 inches of rain, causing widespread damage. 6 bridges were wrecked and 19 damaged, and at least 50 roads sustained significant damage. So, they've gotten 10 inches of rain in a couple of days. That's what happened here, down by where I went to the powwow. So Nova Scotia's got some serious things going on too with the weather. Prayers to everyone. And Amanda is in Nova Scotia. I'm actually going to send her a message. Hope that everything's okay with her. Let's see, Amanda. Alright, I sent her the message. The storms look like they're weakening a little. Yes, they're definitely weakening. As I kind of predicted they would. So that's the line at the beginning. Watch what it does. It loses its energy a little bit. Doesn't mean that they can't redevelop. But as of right now, that line has weakened. It's not that many reds. That's what you look for. Right there. Still a couple of cells in there. But like I said, overall, it's small. There's still some activity in there. But it has weakened significantly. but it's not that far away. So I think we should enjoy these clear, beautiful skies. Now, I think we will get rain from this. Showers. But I don't think we'll get a thunderstorm. We'll see. Now, tomorrow's a different story. Tomorrow I gotta do shows. Tomorrow night. Chanel is running the station right now. But I don't know if Martin is going live tomorrow, actually, because he might be at the hearings. So I'm gonna check that now if he's got a show scheduled. He does. He's in DC. He is going live. Pre-UFO UAP hearing discussion on location. So I'll set this stream up in the morning for the station. I can't do it now anyway because of Rumble. Actually, I could because it's a 24-hour window. I'll do it in the morning. So he is live tomorrow. Martin. Anyway, gonna just chill out, watch the sky. I think I'm going to run a replay because I don't feel like sitting here and babbling, to be honest. I think I'm going to play a replay show. Maybe from last night. I don't know if that's something you all want to hear, so. See, audio does the injustice when a show is done on video. Because you're not seeing the videos, you're not seeing the images. Like, this is one of the images that I shared for the show. I don't know if they showed it, but I put it in there. Because the show had people that were there and were the ones that found it. Right there. So these were the pieces of metal, very small fragments, aluminum alloy, but they're uncommon. That's one in a vial. That was recovered at the alleged crash site in Roswell, or not at Roswell, because it's not in Roswell. It's near Roswell. It's actually a drive away from Roswell. It's not close. So when people think Roswell, that's where the paper was. That's where they displayed the balloon and all that shit. The balloon, like if it was debris from a weather balloon. But the actual site is over an hour drive away from Roswell. So that was discovered along with a few other fragments on June 29th. How do I know? Because the next day is when I had those in my hands doing a recorded interview for the station. So I actually held those vials because there was more than one. I'm still watching that radar on monitor. Let's see. It's so bad because I was borrowing somebody's shirt and it didn't quite fit. Thank God on camera when you see the interviews, it's from here up. You're not going to see what's below because it's not a good look. Not at all. I look like a fucking whale in that fucking... Oh my God. Than, say, the other type of population. Well, like, what's the feedback you've been getting from the people on the reservation? Okay, not that one. Then... You want me to... You want me to... These are very small clips. Look at the size. 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 I just stopped it. So this is during the interview, but it's not a real clip. You can see I'm holding the vial. And he's got some other fragments in his hand and he's showing me. So I had it in my hands. I'm probably the first, one of the few individuals to hold that in my hand the day after on an interview. I probably was the first one interviewed with him holding that material. Definitely. So it was pretty cool to have it. I'm not saying it's extraterrestrial in nature. All I'm saying, what if? What if what I'm holding is something that's not from here? And when you think of it on those terms, it's like when I was driving Travis Walton back to the airport like a month and a half ago. He fell asleep in my car, and he's sleeping, and it became a moment for me, because I could be sitting next to someone who may have had an experience with extraterrestrials, and he's so peaceful right now, you know. I was like, wow. You know, this man might have been through so much, and you know, a lot of people don't believe it. A lot of people do. But he's in my car sleeping while I drive him to the airport, which he feels safe that he's in my vehicle sleeping right next to me. And it was like a moment, thinking on those terms, like I could be sitting next to someone who was abducted by extraterrestrials. It really hits you. What if? So, who knows? It's like looking at my grandfather. Now, my grandfather, they passed away when I was, one I never knew, and the other one died when I was small. Like 8 years old. I can remember what he looks like, but I don't remember much of anything. So seeing him there in peace, like relaxed, We got a satellite on the screen. The storms have gotten a little more intense again. But they're still quite a distance away. The thing that's curious is when this starts to get closer, if it holds together, I'm going to swing the camera around and start to look at the lightning, because I love it. So once that happens, if it happens, I'm going to turn the camera more to the, we're looking east right now. Well, really east southeast. We're going to flip the camera toward the west in a little bit, if it happens. But it's just approaching Scranton, Pennsylvania, so it's still got quite a way to go to get here. And I still don't think it's going to hold together. And the ones that are going to hold together are going to be the ones that are going to go to my south. They're not, if they hold together. The upper portion of the line that would affect me. But there is a little scary thing going on the radar. When you see a line like this, it means it's sinking a little. Not a lot, but it's sinking a little. This one is obviously going this way. This one concerns me because if that shit comes this way, I'm getting hit. But I don't know yet because I haven't watched the radar. So I'm going to put the mouse on it. Oh, they're still hitting. It's still going east. This one is definitely looks like it's going downward. Yes. That one is. That's the one I was talking about anyway. That is definitely coming down slightly. But not, I don't think it's in, I don't know. It's going to be close. Now, the thing I worry about too is this line coming together to form one solid line. It's trying to create a line. And that's not good if it does, because the energy will be spread. So is this, see how it's spread out? Look how it's trying. It's trying. It's got a connection. That's what you watch for intensification. So that line's got its act together down here, but not so much over here. But I'm right here. I'm right there. So see how this storm looks like it's sinking a little downward? Is it gonna sink enough to hit me right here? Right now it's going to be close. And we are going to start seeing heat lightning. Not yet. It's still far away. It's not even in the Catskills. But soon we may start seeing the flashes. Now, I'm wrong. We're not looking east southeast. I forgot that I got the camera looking for the Perseids. We are facing northeast. So the storms are coming from the left side of your screen, from the northwest or west. So any activity you see on the screen is going to start acting up on the left side. So once we start seeing flashes on the left side, that means the storm is not too far away. Because this camera picks up light like you cannot believe. You may not see it with the naked eye, but the camera will. It will pick that light up. Like right now it's nighttime. I can make it look like daytime with this camera out there right now. For those that are new here and watching maybe for the first time, if anybody's watching at all. But I can do it like right now. Oh no, the camera's facing. I could do it, but I don't want to move the camera because it's set in a good spot. But let's take myself off the screen. Now let's play with the camera ISO. Focus on that tree. Watch how that tree looks like daytime. I got the air on. I don't want to. Oh shit. There's clouds right there to the south. Right there. Oh shit. This. Well, definitely. Oh, look at that. The light you see is from my door. The door is open. It's the light from inside the house. It should be done now. That's the light from the door being open. So that's a poor example because I'm showing too much of the sky. But you get the idea how this camera can make nighttime look like daytime. It's a great camera. It's the Sony a7S III. It's a great camera. All right, let's look at this latest loop. Storms are definitely losing their punch. But they're going through mountainous areas now. I'm not surprised. They're getting twisted. But that storm coming down is still got its act together. That's what I'm really watching. But it made more of an easterly jog now. I'm gonna get rid of the radar so my mind doesn't focus on it. Because then I'll OCD on the radar. What time is it? It's early. Okay. Let's see. Oh my God. What's this now? Okay. I want to see. Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh shit. Chris Mellon went on News Nation. This is a quote. This is like the Reagan administration investigating itself over the Iran-Contra affair. What did I say earlier? It's like the government is investigating the sub-government. And that's why I say there could be criminal charges. Chris Mellon must have said something like that tonight. I want to hear this and watch this.
So, What are we going to get this Wednesday? How should we set our expectations? We have an exclusive interview with the man who has been really the spark plug, instrumental behind the scenes to bring these witnesses and video evidence forward. Former Deputy Assistant Secretary of Defense for Intelligence, Christopher Mellon. It's good to see you. Thank you for joining us.
Pleasure to be here. Thank you.
And feel free, as always, to push back on whatever doesn't go with your reckoning. And I'll start with a point of potential cynicism, or at least skepticism. I think not demanding that NASA be there, not demanding that more big shots from these different departments and programs be there or be held to account for why they won't come, should have been a focus. And we're setting ourselves up for disappointment with these hearings. What's your take?
I think there's time to get to that. This is a process. The objective here, I think, and the opportunity is for the American people to come to better understand why it is that so many in Congress actually take seriously the idea that there are UFOs, UAP.
What did I say earlier? He's saying exactly what I said earlier. Unbelievable.
That are violating U.S. airspace, and the associated rumor, allegation that we may have in our possession off-world technology recovered from someone else's space program. And those are things that are hard for people to get their minds around. And I think this hearing is an opportunity for the public to hear from naval aviators who are utterly credible, responsible people, to understand what they're experiencing, what they're encountering in the field. And this is happening on a widespread basis. There are hundreds and hundreds of these incidents going on. Dave Grush will also then separately address the recovery issue.
First of all right, let's deal with Grush. Do you think he can name names and say more than he has said publicly before? Do you think any of these guys who are testifying can say more than they already have? I mean, that would kind of be the starting line of these hearings being progress.
I expect Dave will provide some new information that we have not heard before. And Dave has provided specific leads and information and names to the Intelligence Community Inspector General. So Congress needs to get that information from the Inspector General. There are some limits to what he can say by law in open session, in terms of identifying other personnel in the intelligence community. He's under a lot of restrictions and oaths, and the laws are very severe. The penalties are very severe if you cross those red lines. So he has to be careful, but he's very forward-leaning. I think he will provide new information the public has not heard before. And I think Ryan and Dave Fravor, Commander Fravor, will also help people better understand and appreciate the degree to which this is going on, and the really fundamentally stunning nature of the technology and capability of these vehicles.
So what do you believe that we're dealing with? That they know about equipment and technology from other countries that they have kept secret? Or do you believe that there is any chance that the American government has knowledge of things they believe are not from Earth, and they've kept it from the American people?
I've been told that that is the case by several Defense Department officials. I've been
that
told
it's not from this Earth, or they don't know from where it's from on this Earth.
Shit.
I've been told that we have recovered technology that did not originate on this Earth, by officials in the Department of Defense and by former intelligence officials. I've referred some of those officials to the office that's undertaking this investigation. Dave is another one of those individuals. He's decided to go public with his information. So there are credible people, and we have a direct conflict here between what Dr. Kirkpatrick is saying and what these other folks are saying, and Congress is in the middle, and they got to sort it out.
But here's the problem, okay? Now I think you're going to be with me. It is mind-blowing that, not that they would know something like that, but not say anything. I think that would be so reprehensible. It would be such gross malfeasance. I don't care what the law allows in terms of discretion or privacy. To not tell people like that could be such a force for positive change and perspective would be unforgivable. These guys are never going to tell on themselves. You can't expect anybody to come forward from these agencies unless you're going to get like the Secretary of Defense and be like, listen, brother, you know, and now you're going to tell us, or you're not going to be the Secretary of Defense anymore. Doesn't this have to be done by Congress, or, God forbid, doesn't this have to be done by some external body, not themselves? Isn't it an obvious determination that they're going to come up saying, yeah, you don't need to know?
Chris. Absolutely agree. This is one of the problems. So this office that is leading the investigation was originally created to organize the collection of information about UAPs and orchestrate a coherent, rational inquiry on the part of the government, not this issue about recovered technology. They added that on later, and now there's a problem because there's an inherent conflict of interest. This is like asking the Reagan administration to investigate the Iran-Contra affair. I think that office can serve a very important purpose in terms of investigating, getting the agencies to share information, collating it, developing collection strategies. When you're talking about investigating this allegation of recovered materials, that's a different matter. And I think Congress has to drive that investigation itself.
I mean, I just think it would be an unforgivable point of discretion for them to not let the American people know something as profound in its implication as the idea that we're not alone. And I'll tell you, it's not that far removed from the idea of, we found a lot of things in technology that that people have, countries have, that is really staggering, and we just haven't told you because we're reverse engineering it and using it for our own purposes. The us and them that we're always seeding in this country culturally, that's an us and them. If you have people who are making those determinations and the American people aren't aware, I think it's a problem. But I know this going into it. Thank you for agitating. I know that you get a ton of shite for what you want to do. And people come after you for being a distraction or for being un-American. I think you're the opposite of both of those things. You're pushing for transparency, and you're doing it for the right reasons. I just hope Congress can pick up the ball and carry it effectively.
Congress can do more and better on this. They've done a great job. It's amazing to some degree how far we've come in just a few years.
Right.
But they need to take names. I think they need to call some people in and put them under oath. I think they need to get information from the Inspector General. And if they follow down that path, they will get to the bottom of this. But it is an unprecedented challenge, and we have a very complex legal oversight architecture in terms of security stuff. It's conceivable, for example, that Congress has already been lawfully informed, but Representative Burchett and others don't know because legally the administration can notify a very small number of people and say it's checked the box. So there's also a problem with Department of Energy black programs. They get no oversight from Congress, in essence. There
are a lot of... There really is. And look, no matter what the reality is about what they have or don't have, we've got to do better in reshaping the way our institutions work to be more transparent with the people who give them the power in the first place. And that's what I think you're doing at a minimum. So, Chris Mellon, thank you. Let's see where we go Wednesday and, more importantly, where we go after. I'll be back in touch.
Now that is interesting what he said. Oh, my gosh. Now, Cuomo said a few things, but he's been accused of a lot more than just that. That was an interesting clip. That he's been told by officials in the Department of Defense that we do have it, and it's not from this earth. And others as well. But show us. But what I said this earlier, it's a government investigating itself. I said it earlier, and it's exactly what's going on. And they don't want to come forward with anything to Congress. Nothing. And that's why there's a bipartisan majority that is saying, okay, we're tired of this shit. Now we really want to know what the hell's going on. Where are you getting the money for this? Who's where? There could be criminal charges. I'm telling you, this could get criminal. On the cover up. A black project. I mean, so much conspiracy has been said in the past about black projects and budgets. Well, guess what? That's why not every conspiracy is just a conspiracy. Because some of them have bases of fact and eventually come out as being reality. So this has to be kept, definitely, for me, I'm definitely keeping a close eye on this. Because I've heard things behind the scenes in a very, very, in a situation where, Bill, you cannot say what I'm about to tell you kind of deal. And I'm not, and I have a big mouth, but not when somebody tells me that. And I've known for quite some time. But it's serious. They are pissed. Congress is pissed. So when Mellon says, well, hopefully Congress will be motivated and go in the right direction. Oh, they are. They are. Why? Because, like I said, I know someone highly, highly credible that's working and speaking with Congress members. And I can bring somebody, because there was two of us on the call. There was two of us here in my house talking to someone. And it was Tom Reed who asked the question. Listen, is this for real? Is this serious? Because every time we hear about whistleblowers, it turns out to be a nothing burger, a dud. Is this for real? And the person said, this is definitely real. This is serious. And we were like sworn not to say other details about the conversation. But oh my God. That's why when people come into the chat rooms and they do this, I get it. I get a lot of people are skeptical and have a lot of mistrust with government, truth, lies, corruption, etc. But since the first Roswell that I went to in March, the information really started then. This is when the shit started to really get some traction. And we were just all waiting. And I was saying it back then, something's coming. Something's coming. I can't tell you what it is, but something's coming. Well, this hearing, like Mellon said, is just the beginning. Because there's more to come. This is a subcommittee in the House. It's going to go further than that in time. This is just the beginning. So, like Cuomo said it, a lot of people are going to be like, nothing new here. I said it earlier, it's frustration. The public gets frustrated. But I also said the 1% that is interested in the topic, it's not meant for them. It's meant for the other part of the public who have no real knowledge of what's going on. So they don't follow it like people like I do. And that's what Mellon said. This is about the public and getting them aware of what's going on. The seriousness of the nature of what's being withheld from the public and has been for quite some time. This is just the first little baby step. But it was interesting what Cuomo said. If they are holding this evidence and proof that we are not alone in the universe, That's kind of what he was saying. How profound of a change that is for everyone. That's malfeasance. It's a travesty. That's what he was trying to say, that they've been holding this from us for so long. So Cuomo actually touched on that, which surprised me. So again, everybody has to reach their own conclusions, opinions, all that. What also he said that was interesting is that Grush is going to have something new that was not disclosed before. That caught my attention. So what is Grush planning to say at the hearing? And you also heard about the seriousness of perjury, all that other severe penalties. And I said at the beginning of the stream, I wonder if he's going to ask the question, do you have the names and are they willing to come forward? Well, he's not going to give the names, but he can still answer the question. Are the people that you were in contact willing to come to future hearings to testify? That's all you got to say. You don't have to say, I want names. Just ask that question. The people that you're communicating with and are providing you this information, that allegedly there is credible evidence to say that we have recovered extraterrestrial craft. I don't even want to say bodies. Let's just stick with craft. It's a start. Because he said we have them that are intact and wreckage. We have some that are intact, like operational. Like this is something out of Independence Day, where they walk into a hangar. Mr. President, I have something to show you. Oh my God. How come I don't know? It's need to know. Only if the situation it becomes necessary for you to know, then you know. And you know that when they were making that movie, they got nothing from the government, because when they touched that Area 51 shit, they were on their own. They were on their own. So this is going to be interesting, at least to watch the hearing and to see where it goes. The cloud's moving in. But that was a good interview. A quick one, but a good one with Mellon. Let me get out of there. Yeah, the comments. And this is a comment from what we just watched. Evidence. Anyone holding back actual evidence at this point is preventing the entire human race to know that we're not alone. No reason is worth holding back sufficient evidence. Cuomo was spot on. He was spot on that point. I was surprised, but he was. A lot of positive comments. Everybody's saying he killed the interview. He did a great job. And another thing that I said about the black programs that he mentioned. The good interview, and not the first time I've heard comments made about the Department of Energy black programs not having congressional oversight. They keep saying where to look and how it's masked. It'll be a very interesting day when we make all the puzzle pieces fit. I am telling you there could be criminal charges. He's right. He used a great analogy comparing it to the Reagan administration and the investigation into Iran-Contra or Iran-Contra. It's a good analogy because they're gonna have to investigate themselves now. Good luck with it. That's why I said earlier they're gonna have to cross a major red line, because that's when it's game on. So it's all adding up. We'll see. That was a pretty good. That's pretty good. But that's a lot of hype setting up for this hearing now. Because they are working together. I mean, they all are working together to create this. What the fuck was that? What the fuck was that on the screen? Did anybody just see that? Did anybody just see that on the screen? There was a red light that came up on the screen and it just dashed off. That had to be a fucking drone. Holy shit. Okay, that's a plane in the middle. But that's not the red light. There was a red light on the right side of the screen, unless I'm hallucinating. Damn, there's nobody here. I could have sworn I saw a red light zip across this side, go up and out. I'm gonna have to rewind. I should have used a timestamp. Wow. I know I saw something. Let's go back about 3-4 minutes. I'm gonna hang right here and I'm gonna watch. It's too bad nobody's in chat. Somebody's flying a drone at 10:30 at night? From where? Because that's the only thing it could have been. A drone. But the drones have a red and a green. I've got to see this. Unless I am hallucinating. It caught my eye when I looked at the main screen. So I have 4 monitors. I'm at 10:31 right now. It has to be here. It has to be coming. Come on. 10:31:38. I could hear myself. Hearing myself would tell me. Comparing it to the Reagan administration and the investigation into Iran-Contra. Or Contra. I'm gonna have to. It's a good analogy because they're gonna have to investigate. Okay, there was a plane. Was it a fucking plane? No, it was red. That's why I said earlier they're gonna have to cross a major red line, because that's when it's game on. There was just a plane on, so it's all adding up. We'll see. It can't be because I didn't say anything yet. That was a pretty good. That's pretty good. But that's a lot of hype setting up for this hearing now. Something just happened on my screen. I'm looking back. There it is. I mean, they all are working together to create this. What the fuck was that? That's a drone. What the fuck was that on the screen? All right, it was. I gotta go back because there was a plane. That's a lot of hype. All right, I'm gonna share my screen now, and I'm gonna mute. This just happened. It had to be a drone. I don't want to even get rid of my screen live. Okay, so this is... It's a drone. It has to be a drone. It's got to be a drone. So a plane comes through the clouds first. And I thought maybe that's what it was. Here comes the plane. There's the plane. And now, a minute from now, you're going to see a drone. It's definitely a drone. Has to be a drone. Coming to the picture. It freaked me out when it caught my eye. And it's flashing red. I'm waiting for it. It's coming any minute. Any second, actually. Here it is. That was bizarro. That was bizarre. A drone. But still caught my eye. I was like, what is that moving around? Alright, now let's go to real time. Okay, I can put this back. Refresh. Go to my YouTube comments. What's going on YouTube? I'm in YouTube comments. I'm looking at them. I don't see anything in YouTube comments unless something's wrong with my YouTube. Yeah, you know what? This chat that I had up on the screen... No, the chat on my YouTube is not working. The pop-out. I see nothing that you all have been writing. It's not appearing in my YouTube pop-out. Nothing has. I can see you guys now. I'm gonna try doing this pop-out now. So this is what was going on. I'm gonna share the screen. I had this chat, YouTube. Nothing was coming through. So I didn't see no comments. So I'm thinking there's nobody there. Then Fantasy put something in Trovo, and now I can see what you guys are writing. Freaking YouTube. This whole time. So thank you, Fantasy, for letting me know. God, you guys have been in there for a while. Conan is like, oh my God, what the fuck is going on in here? I'm reading the comments now. Fantasy, I see your comments. You're so right. What's up, Marco? Okay. What do you mean there's nobody here? I'm reading your comments now. It's funny. How many streams does he have going on simultaneously? I have 5 going on. Okay, I'm all caught up. What's up, Ken? On Rumble. It was a drone. Now what the fuck am I missing? At 10:42:10? What did I miss? I'm so busy catching up to the chat. And yes, the sky is gonna go to hell, because that's why I was watching, as Conan said. Remember, there's lightning bugs out there. Now you're gonna make me rewind again? As Conan said, I have to check the weather because there was a thunderstorm lying to my west. So what's the timestamp? 10:42:10. Shit, I just missed it. Okay, I'm at 41:52. Okay, it looks like a satellite or a plane. Definitely plane. It's too big to be a satellite. I don't see anything else at 10:42. Just this plane flying behind the clouds. Z1. It's probably a plane. Yeah, the chat, it didn't even work for me. I just showed you on the screen that it didn't work. Anyway. I'm gonna keep the YouTube up so I can see, because I have Trovo. Everything else is popped out. Anyway, it was a drone. Definitely was a drone. But still, I was looking at everything here and it caught my eye. I saw a red thing moving and I was like, what the hell was that? And that's why I had to go look, because it caught my eye. I thought I was freaking out on it. Now, let me go look at the weather. Holy shit, there's a nasty line. That was, let's see the radar. Might have to bring the camera in. Not yet. Not yet. But it's getting close. There's rain for sure. But I don't know if this cell's gonna come down enough to get to me. But there's a line to my west. It's not gonna last long. But there it is. I'm right here. I'm like right, where's the Hudson? I'm like right here. That shit is right there. Now, this storm is moving generally east, but it has sunk a little bit. So if it keeps that trajectory coming down a little bit, I can get hit. See it? It's generally moving east though. But I need to watch this and that, because I'm right here. That's why, Conan, if you're still here, that's why. I gotta bring this camera in. And all the equipment connected to it, the wires, power banks. That's why I'm watching the radar. But right now, it looks good. Yeah, Bob, you were in there, Bob. What was it? Bob America? Something like that. You were in the chat. What was it, Trovo? I think. I can see your chat now. I thought there was nobody in there because the other one wasn't working. But that was an interesting interview just now that I put on the screen with Mellon and Cuomo from tonight. That was interesting. Yeah, I don't want the rain either. And tomorrow we have a threat of heavy storms. And then the heat comes on Wednesday through Saturday, 90s. Little heat wave coming. So, like I said, I'm watching. I'm not gonna keep my eyes off the screen with the radar. This is all good and fine right now, but there's still some downpours, not necessarily thunder, lightning. If this one is coming my way, but it can still cause some rain. Now on the screen, we're definitely going to see the activity of this thunderstorm that's going to be to the north. It's not going to hit me, but it's going to be to my north. We will start to see the lightning, the flashes. Not yet. It's still quite a bit away. But this is an hour loop. Maybe by 11:30 my time, maybe we'll start seeing hints of this. And if I had to make a guess, the rain is about an hour, 45 to an hour away. If I had to guess. Bob, it's still doing it? How? It's like you're the only one that I could lower Trovo down. Let me do that. Let me fix Trovo for you. I'll change the age thing because it's on 18 plus. I'll change it. I don't think I can. I'll try. They changed their shit. Creator Studio. Try now, Bob. Bob, try Trovo now. I reduced the age to 13 plus. Because we're going to get off YouTube. So I need you to let me know, Bob, if you can now sign into Trovo. Because it's making you go nuts with the age restriction. Now it's saying my account age does not meet streamer's settings. Bob, you might be older than me. So that's kind of bizarre in itself. It's just a glitch. It has to be. All right, Bob, let me know. Because I'm going to make the shift. Okay, you're trying again. Okay. Now remember, there is early Perseids activity. I seen a couple last night in the wee hours of the morning. I'm not saying I'm staying up to 4 o'clock in the morning again, but I seen a couple of nice shooters last night. The peak is not till like 3 weeks away. It's like the night of the 12th or 13th. I can't remember. So it's still quite a bit away. Like 3 weeks. So don't expect to see a lot. Just a few scattered. And they may not even be Perseid related. But I did see a few last night. Kathy went to Trovo. Where is Trovo? I see Michael in Trovo. I see Fantasy is in Trovo. I see people that came and left in chat. Nope, still not working. Let me just try something else then. For all viewers. Oh my God. For all viewers. You were 60 yesterday. Happy birthday. Oh my God. Happy 60th, Bob. Bob, try now. Just try one more time. I put the stream for everyone. I just changed the setting. Once you're in, then I'm going to change it back to 18 plus. And hopefully that doesn't screw around with you. So, you're signed in now. Now let me know if you stay signed in, okay? I'm going back to 18 plus. Are you in? Because I just changed it back to 18 plus. But you can't get on your chat on Trovo. That is so fucking bizarre. Well, don't try it again now. I just changed it back to 18 plus. Oh my God. We have to, because of the lag issue, the delay, we have to work together to get you to get into that chat. So, are you in chat? Yes or no on Trovo? And then again, I would know because Michael and X Lady are in there. I don't know if Fantasy's still there. I'm doing this for Bob. That sucks. You can't do it. I can't understand that. Oh, let me ask you a question. What are you using? What kind of device are you using, Bob? There's a trick. This is why I'm saying it. There's a trick. No. Don't keep trying. What kind of device are you using? There is a way around it. Believe me, I've figured out multiple ways. I just need to know what device you're using. Phone, tablet, laptop. If you had a laptop, it should not be an issue. It's the phones and the tablets sometimes that can be an issue. How else to get into that? All right, Bob, tell me what kind of device. You got a laptop and you can't get in? What browser are you using? Try using a different browser. If you're having a problem on a laptop, that is bizarre. I would suggest you use a different browser. So if you're using Firefox, use Chrome. I use Firefox is like the one I use all the time. But I also, for the station, use Chrome, Opera. What's this one? I forgot what this one is. Brave. Those are the ones I use. Brave. I know you were there talking to me the other night. What browser are you using? Use a different browser. Even if you have to download one. Like a Brave. I know, I saw you. Bob America. Try, if you have to, try downloading Opera or Brave and sign into your account that way. And see if you have the same issue. Alright, because I'm going to kill the YouTube. We're on Rumble, Trovo, and Twitch. On Rumble and Twitch, it's Bill NY Skywatcher. On Trovo, it's the Kraken's Den channel. So I want to hear music. Wow, look at that sky. Alright, Bob. Good luck. But I think it'll work if you use a different browser. Especially if you're using a Mac, you want to definitely download Google Chrome. try, if you're using Safari, it might have an issue. I don't know. So just try to get a different browser and try to sign in with a different browser. All right, I'm gonna go to YouTube now, and we're gonna end the stream on YouTube. What the hell is that? There's a lot of activity on the screen. Okay. We're about to end the stream on YouTube. So we'll be on Rumble, Twitch, Bill NY Skywatcher, all one word, I believe. And on Trovo, it's The Kraken's Den.